Today we're going to look at parallel lines and how these function regards angles. So parallel lines, so these two lines here are parallel, and what that means is that they are an equal distance apart from one another. If those lines continued on in either direction, they're never going to cross over, okay? So they are always the same distance apart. That makes them parallel. If we have another line that cuts across both parallel lines, we call that a transversal. Now, in regards to the transversal cutting across, that then creates for us a series of vertices. And so we can then look at the angles for each of those, and there are particular features that apply to those. We'll look at those now. First thing we'll look at is corresponding angles. And so this is where we have this angle here, angle A, and it's equal to angle B. Okay, and this idea applies all around this diagram, okay? So we have an angle in here, okay? Let's call that E, and it corresponds to this angle down here. Let's call that one F, okay? This angle, say this angle here, okay? Let's call it X. It would correspond to this angle up here. Let's call that one Y, okay? And then this angle here, okay, let's call that one G, and it would correspond to this one down here, and that one, call that one H. So you can see how as we would find out different angles, we can then fill in other angles using the corresponding angles rule. Okay, next we're going to look at is the alternate angle, which is here, which is angle A, and it is alternate. So we go across the transversal to the angle here in B. So angle A is here equal to angle B alternate. So those two are alternate to each other, and in actual fact, then that would make those two alternate to each other as well, okay? So if we filled in, say, E and D, we would have E being alternate to D. Okay, next one is cointerior angles. So this is where we have this angle inside the two parallel lines of the transversal cuts, and it creates this A plus B, angle A plus angle B must equal 180 degrees, okay? And so this in here must equal 180 degrees, and similarly on the other side, this in here must equal 180 degrees. So it means if you know A, let's say that A equals 30 degrees, we then know that B must be equal to 150, so that A plus B equals 180. Finally, we look at the idea of applying reasons. So one of the questions you will get asked is, what is an angle particularly equal to, okay? And what you have to do is give the answer to that angle, but also the reason that backs up why what your statement is true. So let's have a look at a few examples of this now, okay? So for example, if you're asked what was angle B here, okay, we could say here that angle B is equal to 150. And why can we say that? Because it is co-interior with angle A, okay? What about D? Well, we can see that D is corresponding with A. So here we could say that D is 30, and we could say the reason would be it is corresponding to angle A, okay? We could look at H and say, well, H is also equal to 30, and the reason for that is because it is alternating with A. Okay, and then we can keep working our way around. So what would G be equal to? Well, G is co-interior with H, so therefore that must be equal to 150, okay? Okay, but what else? G is also alternating with B. So you've got two reasons for that one, depending on which bit of information you've already found, okay? Now, you've got some others that you could find. If you've got B, that could tell you C because they are then corresponding, okay? H is also corresponding with E, but also E is vertically opposite A. So you could say that it's 30. C is vertically opposite G. F is vertically opposite B. The key with answering these types of questions is to always refer back to what bit of information was given to you to begin with, and are you using it to try and answer your questions more clearly. It's always best to try and use a reference back to A, in this case, because it's the bit of information we were given, as your starting point. That doesn't always work, but that's certainly the way you should try and tackle these types of questions.